is not even 8 a.m. We are on our way to the grocery store to get some food for Christmas dinner.
And we need to get avocado baked muffins.
And we need to get avocado so we can, separately, we also need to bake muffins. So we need baking powder and baking soda.
Yeah, because that, before the power went off before that little snack. I got avocado and muffins.
Well, the power did not eat our avocado and muffins. There was a rat who ate our avocado and our muffins, but the rat is not in our house anymore. He will not be coming back. The rat has been vanquished. So we have to make more muffins and get more avocados. Yes. And some snacks for our friends who just had a baby that we are going to go secretly drop off on their doorstep and then send them a text afterwards because
Where's Daryl?
I know they're very tired. Oh, it's like 15 minutes away from here. So that's what we're up to. What you got back there? You have food? You making weird sounds with a straw? We are on our way home. It's 9:30. We successfully shopped for Christmas dinner, except for I have to buy mushrooms later. I don't want to buy them now. It's too early. And it took way longer than I thought it would. I don't know why. It just took forever. Then we ding-dong dashed our friends who had a baby. We dropped some snacks on their porch and ran away. And then this one is about to have a mental breakdown over a lack of food. And I realized also that I had not eaten breakfast. So I was about to have a mental breakdown. So we swung through the McDonald's drive-thru. And now the baby is awake and he's about to have a mental breakdown because he is hungry. So hopefully we can make it the rest of the 5 minutes it's going to take us to get home. And I can at least throw the cold groceries in the fridge and then feed the baby. It's up here on the left. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. What is that face? Hello. It is 2:30. Both babies are sleeping. I am trapped on the couch. I have not recorded anything in hours. We got home, put away the groceries, fed a hungry baby, cleaned up all her toys. We got rid of some toys just to make some room because I know there will be an influx of things. So we packed a bag to donate. And she helped, which was really nice. And then we had a lunch meltdown. Today is not a good day to have to hold a boundary. It's never a good time, right? But it's always like the last time we had to hold a boundary around food like that. We were on our way to do something fun and she literally cried the entire way in the car for 45 minutes. This time I made her lunch and you know, we don't make second lunch. I always make sure there's something that she wants to eat on the plate, that she likes, that she's comfortable with. And if she doesn't want to eat it, that's up to her, but that's what's on the menu. And so I made sausage and strawberries and some Chick-fil-A sauce, which she likes all three of those things, refused to eat it, probably asked me, I'm going to say 50 times, but realistically 20 times for other kinds of food. And I was like, no, we're not making a different lunch. Like this, if your belly is not hungry, you don't need to eat it, but this is what's available on the menu for today. So she was not happy. And I pre-warned her probably 3 times that when it was time for her nap, we really had to be quiet because Josiah was on a very important work call. She started crying before I even said it was nap time. So we went outside, because he's on a very important work call. She cries for like 10 minutes. Finally get calmed down. We come inside because this baby's getting cranky. We make it all the way back there. She starts crying. We go outside again. She calms down. We come back inside. I put her in bed. I go to leave. She starts crying. Then he starts crying. So I had to leave her in there crying because she wasn't crying as loudly as he was. I brought him out. It took me 10 minutes to get him calmed down. And then I went back in because he was almost asleep, and I just held him and I held her hand. She was like hyperventilating, like sobbing hysterically. And I'm like, girl, what? She's going through something right now. I have been noticing it more probably in the last week or so, but it's been, I mean, she's always very intense and like very just like, her emotions are huge and she feels everything very deeply. So that's always been a theme for her. But like last night she cried for 20 minutes over a wet stuffed giraffe. Today she just like cried herself to sleep essentially. I don't know. 3 is a hard age, I guess. But I think maybe her brain is going through something or developing, or because this is more intense than it normally is. And the other day, last time I talked to my therapist, I was like, why do I feel like I'm overreacting? And she was like, because your body remembers being in survival mode with her before. And that was like crystal clear to me when I was in there holding him and singing to her, because I couldn't hold her body because I was holding him, trying to keep him from losing it. And she was holding my hand. And let's see if I can, I don't really think I can show you. But like when she was tiny and she would just cry and cry and cry, she would be constantly doing this on my arm, like tapping, poking, twisting, pulling, all kinds of stuff like that. When she was a baby, like 3 months old until probably 13 or 14 months old, she would do that anytime I was trying to put her to bed and she was upset. And it's like some kind of sensory thing for her. When she was tiny, like I'd be trying to put her to sleep in the crib and she would be doing that to my arm. And I felt like truly an insane person because I had the feeling of like, I want to rip your arm off. And she's a baby, mind you. And I would just sit there being like, what is wrong with me? Like, I am a horrible mother that I want to like, you're okay, you're okay. It's 10 minutes later. That's the second time he's woken up crying. This nap. Anyways, I couldn't figure out why I would react like that to a baby. And it made me feel horrible. Like the shame. That I felt of like, I just like can't believe I'm reacting like that to her. Let's see if I put this here. Oh, a burp. You got burps in there? But I figured out it was literally like overstimulation. So touch overstimulates me in general, which I guess is why I don't love to be touched usually. But that constant like tapping and poking and pinching and pulling, that gives my nervous system like overdrive instantly. And when I was in there on the floor holding her hand and singing to her, she was doing that on my hand, like the exact same movement. And I could feel my body being like, and I was like, oh, that's what my therapist was talking about. So yes, clearly I do need to unpack some stuff from that still. But we made it. I got her down. She stopped hyperventilating. She's asleep. She's been asleep for about an hour and a half already. He was very hard to put down. He's had 2 short naps this morning. It's been about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes that he's been sleeping, but he's been up crying multiple times, so I don't know what's going on with him either. Just one of those days. I'm trying to keep it in perspective. Give me your tips for 3-year-olds, because I have a feeling, I mean, everything is a phase, right? But I have a feeling we're in for a bit of a rough ride for probably the next little while. We'll see. I could be wrong, but it feels like that. Like she's just like Nova, compared to a typical, I would say, child, Nova is times 10 what they are. This is like times 20. And that's not her fault. Like, she's not a bad kid. And I told her before, oh, I'm gonna cry. I told her when I left her, right before she fell asleep, I said, I'm not mad at you. You are safe. I am here. I have to go put your brother down before he starts crying. I said, there's no part of you that's not loved. We love you. I love you. All the parts about you. I know you're having a tough time. We will get through it. How much of that's going to sink into her, I have no idea. But I was kind of saying it for me as well, because I need to remind myself of that. It's not her fault that her brain is wired to process things so deeply. It's not her fault that she's 3. It's not her fault that I get wildly overstimulated when someone pokes my arm repeatedly. That is not her fault. We just have to figure out how to live with each other. And like I said, we've been around this before. Like, she has gone through phases where everything is like this magnitude before. She just wasn't as big. So it feels a little different now. But maybe it's, I'm not going to say it's any more draining. It just feels like a little extra because he's here and I can't give her the attention she needs. Like, if I could have just wrapped her in a blanket and held her and sang to her the first time, I bet she would have calmed down the first 10 minutes. But because he was there and he is very emotionally attuned to her, like, if she's happy, he's happy. If she's crying, he is sobbing. And he did not sleep, so he was very grouchy. Because I can't leave a baby, you know, I can't leave him screaming in the other room. I couldn't give her what she needed, and we figured it out, and it's fine now. We'll see how the rest of the night goes. But, like, we figured it out. I just wish I could give her what she needs. I need to stop talking because I'm just going to start crying. What a smush. What a smush who won't let me put him down and is crying. And I really have to pee. I did not follow my own rule of pee first. I always do that. Pee first because you never know when you're going to get trapped. But the crying storm of earlier was so unexpected that I was not prepared. And I did not pee first, and now I am literally dying. But if I put him down, he's going to start screaming, and then that will wake her up. And she clearly needs a nap. So I'm just going to hold it. So send me some good vibes. When she wakes up, we're going to make a blueberry pie. She's very insistent that Grandma get a blueberry pie for her grandma's birthday. And she picked out a candle at the grocery store with the number 5 because, and I quote, "That's a good number." I got a frozen pie shell and a can of blueberry filling because I just don't have the bandwidth today to make a fresh pie. I would love to. That sounds so amazing, but I just can't right now. I didn't even make our friends banana muffins. this morning. I literally just bought muffins and took them to them because that's the stage of life I'm in. So yeah. So hopefully the rest of the day will go a little smoother than the half an hour before nap time.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Push his hand.
It's Beast.
It's Beast.
You got your Beast.
Have you seen Beauty and the Beast yet?
She has.
Okay.
She says it's her favorite princess.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Grandma. Happy birthday to you.
Ooh, thank you. That was such a pretty song.
You
Yeah.
can blow out.
Okay.
Howdy. It's 9 p.m. I'm about to go to bed. We had an okay afternoon. I pushed the easy button and we went to our local Italian market and bought some pre-made noodles and sauce for dinner and some chicken because I just could not deal with the idea of cooking. Nova was pretty happy when she got up from her nap. I actually took her temperature because she didn't eat anything until dinner time. Like literally from breakfast this morning at 6:30 a.m. until dinner, she had a couple of strawberries. So I was like, surely there's got to be something wrong with her. No. She ate a huge dinner, was totally happy. She got a present from our friends who come over on Thursday night, so she was very delighted. It was the Beast. We got to sing happy birthday to Grandma with a blueberry pie. And then when it was time for bed, she cried a lot. So I don't know, we'll try again tomorrow. The blueberry pie was mediocre. But our friends brought over a Danish kringle that Trader Joe's has, which I've never tried them before. Oh my gosh, it was so delicious. And then I had some amazing peppermint tea. And now it's time for bed. Like I said, we'll try again tomorrow. Tomorrow's another day of a lot going on. So I did not touch yarn today, which is the first time I have said that this week. So that feels pretty good. And yeah, hopefully the baby sleeps and tomorrow will be better. Good night, friends.